If I ask you, how do you know that your right hand still exists without moving it or without looking at it?
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Usman and I really want to try out meditation, and we are very fortunate to have a friend Rochak here with us who has been doing meditation since you were
maybe
high
10,
school.
11 years ago.
Right. So we will try meditation with our friend Ibrahim, but before that, we wanted to know a little bit more about the culture and why it's done and how it works.
So Rochak comes from the land of Buddhas,
Yeah.
and technically he's supposed to know a bit more about it than us. So let's hear it from Rochak, what he knows about it.
Okay. Thank you, guys. It's not a written language, but it's passed on through disciples by the teachings, and it's passed verbally. So the basic history behind it is, there are two ways of living in this world, and the first way is called the way of the householder, and the second way is called the way of the forest dweller. Right? The way of the householder, it means when you are actually conducting and adapting in this world, we interact with people, and we are not in our true selves. So we, in a way, it's a kind of we are performing in this world. And there is another way called way of the forest dweller. What that means is being by yourself without any kind of adaptation or without performing anything. And these meditative practices come into that domain. That is how to access yourself when you are conducting yourself in this world, right? So, and there are different methods, and there are two methods that I know. And one of the methods is like you just sit down and then you observe how your emotions are. Right? You close your eyes and you sit in a lotus position, and you first start by observing your breath, and then it's hard to stop the noises. Noises, that means you think a lot, right? We all think a lot, and it's hard not to think. Even if those thoughts come, then you don't react to those thoughts, like, and don't say that, oh, I'm feeling that, I should be doing that to get rid of
You
those kind of thoughts.
shouldn't be thinking about anything.
Yeah, even if that thought comes, it's hard to not think. Even if that thought comes, you don't get bothered by it. Just observe your thoughts. And the other way is like just accept how you are in the present moment of time. And the process is similar. You start by observing your breathing, observing how your body interacts with the air and everything. And it's an experiential technique. And it's not meant to be conceptualized very clearly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now we move on to Ibra.
So yeah, let's try the actual one now. Okay, guys. So we're back here with Ibrahim, who is actually meditating every single day, and he's gonna talk about what are the benefits of it, and we're gonna try it out as well.
So, as you may have known, that meditation brings you like calmer, makes you less stressful. This is for like marketing purposes, how companies or how like you try to like market it in this way, that you get less stressful, and that's right. But for me, it's not to that alone. I mean, it's a spiritual practice for me, and it helps as well to bring me focus on the subject of meditation. And if you develop that with time, it helps you to focus on your studies as well. So in the meditation culture, there is something called the monkey mind.
Okay.
So the monkey mind is like represents your mind, and it jumps from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing.
Yeah.
So it prevents you from focusing on the subject that you try to focus on.
Yeah.
And meditation trains you how to always come back to the subject of focus. The oldest way or the oldest method of meditation is focusing on your breathing.
Okay.
So usually when you inhale, you try to focus on the sensation, and usually the sensation is more clear on the tip of your nose. So once you inhale, you try to focus on how the air is touching the tip of your nose, and when you exhale, you try to notice on this side. but it depends on where you can feel it the most. So if it's here, it's better to focus here on the inhale and exhale.
Yeah.
So this is the subject of your meditation. So every time your mind takes away your attention, you try to bring it back to your subject. So this is how it trains you to like focus. So this is how.
I've heard like people saying like they can actually feel their blood circulation or heart pumping if they're like really meditating and stuff like that. Is it like true or like?
No, this is definitely true. I mean, first of all, I want to like say that I am a newbie because I have been doing that for nearly 8 months. But so far, I can say yes if you are sitting in a very calm place and you are really focusing on like things inside yourself. At a certain point, you start feeling the beats of your heart in certain places in your body, and you can focus on that. You can make that your subject of meditation.
And you say you do it for about an hour every day.
Yeah.
So if we were to start doing that, how do you suggest we start it?
You can start like gradually, like basically 3 minutes, maybe later you try to extend to 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, because it's hard to sit like in the beginning for an hour because you are not used to it. But if you take it gradually, you can develop like, because there is like some people in the East, in like India, Nepal, that sometimes sits for days meditating without moving at all. So that can develop with time. In terms of the meditation techniques, you can follow anybody on YouTube who like, I mean, there's many people who are like, you will see many followers that like primary and education. That is a good guru.
Yeah.
But it's not about the meditation as much as it is about what is that you are seeking through meditation.
Okay.
If you are seeking spirituality, you need a spiritual leader.
Yeah.
If you are just seeking meditation as a technique, you need just like somebody who had like experience for a certain point of certain like amount of time, and that's it. You don't need more. But in terms of spirituality, this is a different story. Because if I want to talk about spirituality in this situation, meditation helps you to decrease your suffering.
Yeah.
Because if you identify yourself with certain things, and it is your identity, anything that touches this identity will give you suffering.
Yeah.
Like for example, you have a fancy car and you think this is your identity. Like people say, oh, this is like, for example, this Jaguar is his car, is Ibra cars, for example. And if an accident happens to that car, you will suffer a lot because you are identified with this car. Meditation trains you to not be identified with either your body or your mind or anything you own, and to understand that you are one with everything and nothing matters. So
it's like getting rid of the social construct that is associated with you.
exactly. It's a try to take this mind conditioning out of the framework of thinking.
Okay.
And understanding that anything happens, it's okay, and it is how you identify it as a problem, because some people will face the same challenge. Some people will treat it as okay, this is normal. Other people will be depressed totally. Why? Because everyone has his mind framework that identify this is a problem, this is not a problem, and that brings suffering. So
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's try it out then.
Try to close your eyes possibly. And put your hands, I mean, the way that is comfortable
Upwards,
for you. Yeah, I mean, the way that is. So close your eyes, and I want to ask you questions, and I want you to focus on my questions. So if I ask you, how do you know that your right hand still exists without moving it or without looking at it? Just try to feel your right hand without moving it. So you can open your eyes. So this sensation helps you to bring attention or like your meditation to some parts of your body. Usually when you do meditation, you go through the body, and depending on Buddhism and Hinduism, there are 7 chakras. So once you start with, like, for example, you start with the tip of your toes, and like you go up till like you reach your butt here.
Okay.
And then from here you start to focus on the lower chakra. And once you are breathing in, like, you try to raise the sensation up a level to your navel. Yeah. And then again to the top of your stomach, this 3rd chakra. And then again your heart. So you raise the feelings while you are doing the meditation. And again to your throat. And then once you like try to focus all this energy in your body on your throat while you are closing your eyes, and of that you're closing your eyes, you try to, when you are closing your eyes, you try to look to this point. Like while I am closing, it will be, I'm looking at it, and focusing on this point. And then trying, once you exhale, to bring what is here to there.
Okay.
And that will fill you as like an energy. So first, when you start by bringing your attention to noises around you. So usually when you start meditation, is like you start to focus on noises, and while you are focusing on noises, sometimes or most of the times your mind will drift away with thinking about something else, and you try to bring it back to focus on noises. So this is how you start usually. So I'll give you like a minute to try. So now after like you focus on the noises around you, you try relaxation of your body. So you start from the forehead. Try to scan your forehead, every muscle, that it is totally relaxed. And if you want to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, you can raise them a bit and drop them. Yeah, and drop them. Yeah. So now you bring your attention to the sensation of the air once it gets into your nose and out of your nose. So now I'm going to let you focus on that for 2 minutes. And if your mind drifts away, it's okay. Just gently bring it back to the sensation on the tip of your nose.
So we did the meditation bit, and what were your honest reviews about it? How did you feel about it?
I felt really relaxed, and when we were focusing on our knees and our thighs, I felt I was kind of warming up on this area. And then what I felt really relaxing was when Ibrahim told us to like drop down our shoulders. That from that point I felt really, really relaxed on my upper body, especially. Yeah, and I have a question for you as well. What sound did you focus on?
Also, during that time, like when Ibra told us to be focusing on the background noise, the sounds that I could catch up was the dripping of water in the bathroom and the drops through the window, or it could be the ventilation somewhere. And then there was obviously the ambulance and the police cars outside. Obviously, it's London.
Yeah.
And what about you?
For me, I was listening to the fridge noise.
Yeah.
And then at some point I could hear someone playing the violin, I think downstairs. So for a bit I was listening to that as well.
Yeah. And for me, like, it was very relaxing because I was very much self-aware and very much self-conscious. But the only criticism I have as of right now is I started having back pain because of sitting like in a different posture, and it's just because like we were sitting in a different posture and we're not used to it. But Ibra told us like we have to have erect back and like we have to elongate our necks. that actually might help us if we're doing it in the
In the
long
long
run.
term, yeah.
And I would definitely want to try it because it was super, super relaxing for me. So yeah, that is something I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
And thanks to Ibra.
Thank you, Ibra. And guys, if you're interested in more tips for meditation, just leave us a comment and we'll let you know.
Yeah,
See you in the next video. Bye.
see ya.